Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Mets Daniels, and I am so happy and I appreciate everyone watching this video. And if you have not liked and commented, please make sure that you like and leave your comment on this video. And I would really appreciate it if you rang the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I get to post new content. And I would really appreciate it if you supported this video by making sure that you leave your comment about this issue at the end of the video. I love you. For those who might not watch this video up until the end, I love you and appreciate you as well for all the minutes and the time that you've taken to actually watch my video. I appreciate it. And the truth is, as much as we don't want to admit it, we have all been hurt and touched by AK's death. We are just, embarrassed to cry about it, because why must we cry over a celebrity? But the truth is, we have been touched by the death of AKA for many reasons. We want justice for AKA, but we do feel guilty that we want that justice, because it feels as if we did not want the justice enough for our relatives and our sisters and brethren that are killed on a day-to-day basis, that are not celebrities, whose cases are going to remain unattended to, whose cases are going to remain unsolved because we are quiet as South African citizens, because the government does have resources, but the resources unfortunately are not available for the poor. Cases for the rich people that are killed gruesomely are attended by public, by high people inside of the department, but our brothers and sisters that are killed on a day-to-day basis mean nothing in this country. And that is why a lot of people are feeling, as much as they are touched and saddened by the death of AKA, that rests in our minds, that we have brothers, we have sisters that are killed every day before our eyes and are left, some of them they're left on the streets for hours and hours and hours without being attended to. Why? Is it because they are less important, because they are rich, or is it because we are quiet as the people of South Africa and are so relaxed that we do not whatsoever hold South African Police Service accountable? We've never striked. We've never striked. We never protested. We have not yet protested against SAPS for its immensely pure, sad state. Because in our country, I stay in a village where the nearest police station is 50 kilometers. That's crazy. That's bullshit. And we should have striked. We should have done something about it a long time ago as people. And for as long as people are quiet about circumstances surrounding their lives and their well-being in South Africa, the government is going to continue relaxing. Remember, the government did, and as the people of South Africa, if we do not say anything, or if we are not ready to stand up for anything regarding our lives, regarding the departments, they are never going to change. They are going to sit comfortably in their own homes, making sure that they're safe and their children are safe, while we wander the streets with our lives out in the open for anyone to take them without anyone being held accountable. How dare we demand justice from a system that has proven itself to be nothing but unjust? We are so quiet, and we justify our quietness and relaxation over the fact that our country does not have resources. We think that our country does not have enough technology, and our country does not have the finances to be able to provide us with the services that we need, with the protection that we need. But the truth of the matter is, our country has so much resources. And if you want to see that our country has the resources to help its people, wait until a rich person is killed. Wait until there is a money heist. In a money heist, you will see that the police is able to answer a phone call. The police are able to, respond in a minute, because a money heist will happen now. And 2 minutes later, the police, before you even pick up one note from the ground, the cops and the police will be there to attend to whatever that has been happening. People will be killed, shots will be shot, even though sometimes they might get away with it, but most of the time the police and the security, they attend immediately, and they will investigate until they apprehend the people that are responsible. But your relatives and my relatives can be killed today, and tomorrow it will not be spoken about. Justice will never be served. So basically, in our country, justice ain't for the poor. I'm saying this because I myself have been a victim of an armed robbery. I was a victim of armed robbery to such an extent where I ended up being victimized for being a victim. I ended up going through lie detector tests. I ended up going through, having to go to prison cells to identify people, being abused by the system because it wanted to solve a crime. And it broke my heart that there's a system that is this functional, but yet it's not doing anything to help the people of this country. That I started to see forensic investigators that I had no idea existed, because there's so many people lose their lives, so many people get killed, so many people do a lot of things, but then there was just no justice, because justice isn't really for the poor, is it? So now the question is, as South African, is this situation ever going to change? Is there ever going to be a turnaround? Are we ever going to live in a country where we feel that we are protected or safe, or is it just going to be we're just going to continue like nothing happened? We're just going to continue, just another day? Because I feel like, watching that video and looking at how easy it was to take somebody's life, I feel like we should be so angry. We should be so angry that even though we have not seen those that are killed on a day-to-day basis, but it is in that simplicity that they are murdered. It is in that simplicity where the lives of our family members and our relatives are taken. And when are we going to stand? When are we going to say something? When are we going to do something about the injustice that is happening in our country? All that people know in high places and places of leadership is to eat the people's money. It's to make life comfortable for themselves and their families, but they are saying nothing about the masses and the people of South Africa. This shall come as a warning and a wake-up call that as South Africans, if we do not say anything nor do anything, there's nothing that's going to happen. Whenever somebody tries to take a stand, or somebody tries to want to do something about the situation, to strike against load shedding, the government playing chess with our lives and the finances and the money and the futures of our children, and we're just quiet about it, we're not doing anything about it, it should be kind of like aggravating. It should be we should be mad. We should be mad, South Africans, mad at our government, and demand change. And because and I think one of the most challenging factors is that, in as much as we don't want the ANC to rule, we don't yet see a promising party that can really take or do a better job than the ANC. So that is one of the problems that I feel like we have. It's like we are caught between a rock and a hard place. So obviously voting isn't something that is going to solve the problem in South Africa. We need to take a stand and force our government to take us seriously as the people whom they exist upon, whom the government exists because of. So this one Lindani calls private school goga. Someone just decided, okay, I'm going to send this case to apparently a medium who works with solving or resolving unsolved cases. So this is what she says. It's a report named Kenan Jarrett Forbes, who's AKA 35 years, who was born on the 10th of February, who died on the 10th of February 2023, Florida Road, Durban, KZN, South Africa, subs Durban. Case history: a double bloody Valentine, as well as a double bloody Valentine is well-known South African rapper, aka and lifelong friend Tips, who's Tebelo Motswane, a well-known entrepreneur and author, are gunned down just 4 days before Valentine's Day. Aka was outside a restaurant with friends when a ruthless killer walked up to him and shot him point blank at the back of his head. A second shooter fired at AKA from a short distance away, and several shots were fired, which also killed Tibbs, who was right next to AKA. A third person got injured, as well as was taken to hospital. The assassination of AKA was recorded on CCTV, and police will leave no stone unturned as they hunt for the suspect responsible for the senseless killings. If you have any information, obviously they said you must contact the subs. So this is what the lady said about this case. She said, the message here is clear: a life for a life. This was a definite hit. AKA had been warned to stay out of KZN after Anela's death, and however, he defied the warnings by not only going to KZN but also doing a gig in Durban, which he never got to do as he was killed. AKA posted photos of his high lifestyle and the food, the barber and drinks, so much more, all over social media handles. This social media footprint allowed the suspects to know his exact whereabouts. This also infuriated those that sent the warnings to AKA to stay away. They say this as challenging. They saw this as challenging arrogance and defiance. A hit on AKA had already been placed should he ever return to KZN, and he did. And now the person who ordered the hit is very wealthy, moves in powerful circles, detests AKA and blames him completely for Anela's death. And the photos documenting the violent fights between those two speak for themselves and are circulating on social media. And my feelings about Anela's death is that she was definitely not suicidal, nor under the influence of drugs and alcohol. She was not pushed out of the window. She feared for her life and was trying to escape. The main person who originally called the hit will not be exposed. He is protected, untouchable. Someone else will take the blame and be arrested. This will come as a surprise shock. A female is the one who was alerted about AKA and his posts showing where he was. The two shooters are hired killers, hitmen who received a huge amount of money each. In total, I see 6 people involved. Blood money can be traced, but it may take quite a long time. I feel only 2 people will be arrested and 50-50 chance a third person will. The driver that dropped the shooters off drove around the corner and waited for the shooters. I feel they drove a distance and then swapped vehicles. Sadly, Tips, a good soul, got caught in the firing and was killed alongside his friend, and he was never the target, just a victim of circumstance. The evidence and leads are in AKA's phone. The person threatening AKA was so angry he forgot to cover his tracks properly. Intelligence should be able to trace this. Right, so those were the findings, and I honestly I feel like this explanation by this girl or by this lady is one of the most reasonable or closest explanations that we have today about this case, because for me, honestly, I think it should just go as a warning to all the celebrities, and to all South Africans. Why? Because I feel firstly that he was very much underprotected for someone who is as famous as he is. Right. First of all, we watch TV all the time. We watch Hollywood all the time, and we see American celebrities. They don't have time for chit chat. They go into a place, get into a car quickly. They go into a place and then they get into their vehicle. Bodyguards all over. They don't have time to talk to anyone. Bodyguards are always on guard. How do you, in the middle of the night, stand in an open street, no matter how safe you feel it is, but as a celebrity? I mean, there are just certain things that you should do in order for you to watch your own life. And I just hope that this incident, regarding or relating to AKA's death, can come as a lesson to a lot of celebrities that they should really take their life seriously and should really consider the issue of safety very seriously for the sake of their own lives, And I think another thing that also might have, aggravated this whole situation is the fact that, as a parent, if it were me and I had lost a child and AKA was out there living his best life and now he's moving on, he's found somebody else, kind of like feels like he's forgotten about my daughter or forgotten about my child, I'll be mad too. I'm not saying that, they could have done something. I'm just saying that if it were me, I would be really mad, if someone I suspect killed my child and forgot about my child just like that. I would be really angry, okay? I'd be really mad. Like, I would be out of my mind, crazy mad. Why is this person happy? He just killed my child. Okay, but then I'm just saying that I would not take it lightly to, if I had the power. Maybe I would not kill him, but, just harm him, maybe for my own satisfaction. I don't know what I would do. But yeah, I think it should come as a lesson for a lot of people to take their safety seriously. People should never find themselves in places where they feel exposed. I feel like there was just so many minutes, they just spent too much time, and the time moving out of the building and going into another building should be calculated. People, they need to be careful, Security should be one of the most biggest investments in South Africa considering our crime rate. And I feel that it's a shock to everyone that someone can be killed so easily and nothing happens. And if you have any comments or recommendations or anything that you would like to say and help me improve my channel, please make sure that you do inbox me, you do write on the comment section, or you can invite me on WhatsApp. My number is 0734941483, or you can also contact me on my Facebook. I'm Mets Daniels on Facebook, Mets Daniels on Instagram. My email address is lepematsidiso@gmail.com or metsdaniels@icloud.com. Love you guys.